Welcome to another edition of GSC DigiNet. I'm your host, Jim Cavale, Broadcasting Director for the Gulf South Conference, and the news this week is led by Colton Mitchell, the pitcher from Delta State, who this weekend threw a perfect game against the University of New Orleans. Let's check in right now with the Statesman Sports Network. It's a special report out of Cleveland, Mississippi, on Mitchell's amazing performance.
Clayton Kaufman joined with Colton Mitchell. He threw a perfect game today in Game 2 of a doubleheader against New Orleans. What a day. 7 strikeouts. Everything was working for you. Just talk about the performance you had.
I mean, it was, like I said, it was just one of those days where everything went right. Like, I couldn't make a mistake, and balls I did make mistakes on, they luckily popped them up and got themselves out. So it's just a perfect day, man.
You had help from your infield and outfield, especially those last 3 outs. Sam coming up with one in right field and, a couple in the infield. Just how great of a performance. I mean, everyone wants to talk about the pitching, but the defense as a whole has to come up together and make a play, and they did it today.
Right, that's right. I mean, it's not like I struck everybody out. My team had to help me, and they did, and it was a team wins. As simple as that.
I was talking with Coach Kennison. He's never seen a perfect game here as his head coach of Delta State. What does this mean? I know you wanted to lift your team and give them a hand, but what does this mean just as a team? Here mid-April, big games coming up. What does this mean to you?
It means a lot to me. I mean, I've thrown no-hitter a few of them in high school and stuff, and it's not the same. It's different at this level with a conference game, especially when we need wins. I think Valdosta lost 2 today, so that's big for us to try to take over first place and get the #1 seed in the conference.
Awesome stuff there. When you look at the standings in GSC baseball, Alabama Huntsville leads the way, but right behind them is number 16 nationally ranked Delta State, and then number 28 Valdosta State. Those teams vying for the top spot in the baseball standings for the regular season. Behind them is North Alabama and West Georgia, all right there knotted up in a log jam. All these teams trying to vie not only for a Gulf South Conference baseball championship here in 2012, but also a berth in the 2012 NCAA baseball tournament, which of course was won last year by the University of West Florida. On the other side of things, in GSC softball, number 1 Valdosta State leads the way, 22-0 and counting for Valdosta State, and Alabama Huntsville just behind them at number 22. Then you have West Florida, West Alabama kind of knotted up over there. North Alabama and Christian Brothers rounding out the rest of the standings is Delta State and West Georgia. These teams will go for a GSC softball title later this month, as things are starting to heat up as we get closer to that time of year where we'll decide who is the 2012 GSC softball champ. For GSC DigiNet, I'm Jim Cavale. Tune in next week as we'll have a special feature out of Valdosta, Georgia, with the #1 team in the nation, Valdosta State University. Until then, this is GSC DigiNet.